ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 156. I forgot to change my little banner. Whoops. Just picture that as 156 behind my head. It is August 11th, 2024. I'm AK. This is Butch P. We are the Millie Goats. And Butch P, what a weekend of sports. Everybody's complaining there's not enough sports. Yeah, right. We've proven that to be false over the last few months. You can find sports. You just got to do the work. And football is back. We have all kinds of overreactions. We had an awesome golf finish today, an epic collapse. What a meltdown.
Yeah. Golly, that was terrible.
I felt bad for him, dude. I got slides. We got all kinds of stuff there. But yeah, it's National Melon Day. So happy National Melon Day. We've got some information on that. But you were boots on the ground in Greensboro. We tried to get the media credentials. Those did not come through, but that did not stop you from going up there and showing your face and shaking hands and kissing babies. Did it not?
No, it did not. Debbie did not down this train, not even a hurricane or tropical storm to stop this motion.
Mm-hmm.
Could not.
Now you saw our guys, didn't you?
Could not stop the Millie Goats.
You saw our guys, didn't you?
Oh yeah. I saw every one of them. Every single one of them. It was actually shocking on yesterday because I was just walking the back nine. We got there pretty early, so they were finishing round one first. I just walked up on 8th or 16th tee, the par three there, and bam, here comes Hubbard making the turn off of 15. I was like, I just threw up my hands, and he's like, "What's up, man?" So that was pretty cool. That was totally unplanned, by the way, and 100% it caught me off guard there. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll just stand right here and watch you tee off. So he's about to tee off. He has honors, right, on 16th tee. And the trash cart guy just comes barreling through there. The golf cart path comes right in front of the tee. It just comes barreling through, and he's like, okay. So he has to step off away back from his ball. It's like, hey, man. Just gives him a hey, man. Never acknowledged him at one time. Just on the course, had a duty to do, and his job was most important. So that was pretty funny. But yeah.
Dude. And then you saw Lauer and you saw Novak, right?
Yes, I saw them today. So that was pretty cool. I was mainly on the back nine yesterday, 18th green. Had the privilege to stay there. Second toughest hole. But today I was on the fourth, so I was able to get a little bit closer to the guys walking from fourth green to fifth tee there, which is kind of like a little traffic jam. They were kind of backed up right there once they finished fourth green to tee off on fifth. It was a lot of downtime, and the pace of play was slowed probably because of just trying to get 36 holes in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, and then there's potential for some other, like you were relaying to me, like, hey, we got some,
Yes.
like,
I was just talking to a guy. This was yesterday, just super early, and he was, had a little different badge on. So asked him, I was like, "Who you here to see?" He said, "Well, Trace Crow's my brother-in-law." I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Man, does he like shooting it? Okay, and just having a good time." He said, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." I said, "Well, we have a podcast, man, called the Millie Goats." I said, tell them about it. We'll direct message them, DM them there, and try to get them on the show. He's like, oh yeah, man, I'll let them know. And then I mentioned our guys that have been on. And he's like, oh yeah, for sure. We'll look into that definitely. So he may could be a potential there, and also Zach Blair. He was that was today. His caddy came over there to me, and I was just like, just giving him the yes, 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 right there. And Zach
Daniel
Blair was
Bryan.
just we made solid eye. We had the eye contact off hand because some guys just just head down, moving right along. He was just smiling. I mean, Zach Blair. If you look at his PGA Tour picture right now, that is not how he looks currently. He's got a huge beard, red beard. So I was like, oh yeah, we're going to have an instant connection here. We got redheads in our Millie Goat family. Dude, just luscious, thick beard. I was laughing. He started laughing just because I was doing the yes. So I'm pretty sure he's probably a WWE fan. Um, and and his came over there down, and I was like, all right, we're going to try to get y'all. We'll DM you too.
Dude,
So,
that's
but yeah, that was a good time, good experience.
that's what I'm talking about,
Never,
dude. That's what I'm talking
but
about,
anyway,
dude. So yeah, we do have, obviously that means more things in the works. We're still looking for the elusive media badge. That will come. We will be more organized next time. We still are fighting from my end, technical difficulties from everybody's end. The internet's out to get us, dude. They're trying to silence us. They know we're coming. We're giving out hot takes about Caleb Williams. We're giving out hot takes about Mahomes, and the internet doesn't like it, Butch. They don't like it. If this is your first time watching or listening or whatever on YouTube or Twitter or Rumble or whatever, make sure you subscribe or hit the like button. Also, if you don't want to stick around tonight, you can look tomorrow for the podcast because it's out everywhere tomorrow. And we run through all kinds of shenanigans. Like I said, we had football, we had golf, we had Olympics ending, we had RG3 who we're in a battle with. So I will put up some pictures about that. But like I said, football is back. So I got to bring up a slide right here, Butch P, that's going to summarize the rookie QBs and what they did, because there's a picture of Caleb Williams' throw you'll probably see 400 gazillion times between now and next week. Here's what all the rookie quarterbacks did. Now, I think Joe Milton is the only one that's not on that list. I think that's one of the premier marquee. So you had, let's overreact, dude, because after Caleb Williams got done yesterday, it was like, it's like Noah's Ark had lifted off and ridden down the sea, whatever. Like it was the greatest thing we've ever seen. And I did a 30-minute rant on why everybody should calm down and not listen to all these idiots tomorrow on ESPN and whatever, FS1, NFL Live, NFL Network, and sit there and try to lecture us on how this is the greatest throw he's ever seen. Because then I found a video where Adrian Martinez, who played in the USFL last year, made the exact same throw. Bo Nix made the exact same throw today. So that little rollout right by Caleb Williams was not something of the second coming. It was just a bootleg crosser, is what it was. Like, but you could see the numbers there. So any thoughts on that, Butch P? Let's overreact, dude. Overreact right now.
well, I mean, it is exactly what it is. I mean, just a slight overreaction. It is preseason. We've seen this multiple times over the years. You will have great plays in preseason. Not everybody's on the same agenda of what they're trying to achieve in preseason. So
Mm-hmm.
we've seen 4-0 teams in preseason have a awful year in regular season. We've seen 0-4 teams in preseason be your elite team in the NFL. So, and I mean, it's preseason. It's preseason. It's almost like how we do golf. Dude, it's day one. Calm down. Like, pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah. So the
Wait,
thing
wait
was,
till wait till you're going to know where you're at. Give it 3 months. You're going to know.
well, you look at the headlines that come out of ESPN and stuff, and they're like, Caleb Williams excels. And it's like, well, he didn't even have the best passer rating. So everybody who's, the whole don't look at the stats crowd's going to come out, they're going to tell us that this was a surgical. And the reality is for Caleb Williams is that offense and that roster he does not have to be a playmaker elite, dude. He's just got to get it to where it needs to go to the people who are going to make the plays. That's all he has. If he does that, but the media is going to put all this pressure on him like he's doing something amazing like they did with Lamar last year. Like, you forget the stats. He's playing above the X's and the O's. And it's like, no, dude, he's just doing it's fine to say that he's a really good talent and that he's just doing what he needs to do, like so it's
Yeah, don't make it more than what it is.
and that's fine. He doesn't have to be the second coming. Like, it's just the expectations and then everything that comes after it's ridiculous. But the interesting too that people are, I did a poll where I said who was better, Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. Caleb Williams won that poll 60-40. Or no, Caleb Williams won that poll 60-40% over Jaden Daniels. Caleb Williams didn't even score a touchdown. So let's not bury the lead either. The Bills got walloped, dude, 33-6. Care to comment?
What?
The Bills got dominated.
I feel like react. So I'm gonna speak for him for a little bit, and let's not overreact. You know, but it is a concern.
They're trying to find the silver lining for that, but I don't know if they can. Right now, JJ McCarthy is leading the other poll, 54-46% over Bo Nix. But I watched pretty much all the plays in Caleb Williams, and I was like, hey, he's pretty good. I wasn't like, wow, but he did make a really good throw on third down. That was really, I was like, if you're going to show a throw, that's the one you need to throw or show. But Jaden Daniels was good. So, we lost Butch. That's all right. What's up, Jens? Xavier Worthy. What about him? I saw I saw Hollywood Brown dislocated his SC joint, which can be dangerous if it goes backwards toward his heart, and then it might pump on some those what are they called? Arteries, veins, whatever. The necessary plumbing there. So but anyways, I just wanted to throw that up there. Just because you're gonna hear it all over the next especially tomorrow, you're gonna hear it all. So anyways, let's move on from that.
Yeah, sorry, I got the boot, but yeah, I'm gonna just say, yeah, the quarterback situation. Hey, those are great looking numbers,
Yeah.
but you're gonna have to continue that in an NFL season every game.
Yep. And you're not playing against backups. Oh, there you go. Okay, he's good. He's discharged from the hospital. All right, good. Good. I think,
Who
I
was that?
mean, that the Hollywood Brown thing where he dislocated his SC joint, that's a hard thing to do. That's a weird injury because that thing's buttoned up, dude. That thing is completely welded on there. So that had to be a pretty gnarly fall onto his shoulder to get that thing to pop out. So anyways, National Melon Day. Musk melons are quite different from all other melons. This is okay. And this can be attributed to their physical features and taste. They typically have smooth, ribbed, wrinkled, or netted exteriors with sweet flesh that is yellow or white. So National Melon Day does not mean watermelons. Don't get it twisted, dude. Don't be coming in here besmirching Melon Day thinking you're going to be talking about watermelons. It's not the case. And for all you other sickos out there, get your minds out of the gutter. Some examples of muskmelons are cantaloupes, honeydews, and gallias. I don't even know how to say that word. Turkmenistan is responsible for over 400 of the melon varieties we have today. How about that? I had no idea that Turkmenistan was the home of the melons. Did you know that, Butch?
Have you ever even heard of Turkmenistan?
Nope.
Yeah. Nope. Me neither. So
The name
I'm gonna say it's very close to the other stands, and maybe their melons are in the wheelbarrow with Stan.
the name cantaloupe was derived from Cantalupo, Italy, which was the first place where the seeds arrived from Armenia in the 16th century. So, Melon Day, don't think, I'm sure watermelon has its own day, but that's okay. Speaking of melons, Aaron Rye showed some melons today by getting his first win. And then we're going to talk about a little more golf here in a little bit. But the next thing I wanted to show up before we get into all the other shenanigans was this little beauty right here. Let me pull that up. We have been in a battle with RG3 for quite some time.
Have we?
And RG3, RG3 he put up a picture of him and his wife, which I won't show, eating this giant croissant, which is not the best picture for RG3 to put up, I don't think. So anyways, he keeps putting these pictures up that say caption this or hanging in the Louvre or whatever. And so every time he does that, I just keep photoshopping his face onto the person who's losing. And then wherever the thing that's winning, I just put the croissant on. So this picture, you can't see it on the podcast. I have a picture of Steph Curry hitting a 3 over Victor Wembanyama with his arms outstretched. And where the ball is going over Wembanyama's arms and head, there's a picture of the croissant that RG3 was eating. And then where Victor Wembanyama's head is, there's a picture of RG3's face eating the croissant. So we've just been getting in this battle with him. He has not responded to these memes that we keep posting in his comments, but I know he sees him because everybody else really likes him. Any thoughts on this, Butch?
That's a pretty large croissant,
dude. That thing.
It's pronounced croissant. I know because I've been to Europe.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Jens.
I can't even get on that. Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
Oh.
we're in a battle with RG3 if you can't tell. Okay. On the show we have Salute Your Sports. We have the dad joke. We go over this golf tournament. We have lots of pictures and things to share. The G.U.Y.S. we're back. Big weekend for the guys. The G.U.Y.S. hang the banners. Other relevant sports news. Inter Squad Dad Kings Jamboree results. That thing is getting out of hand in golf. I have run away with it, and that's in all your faces. So let's get to Salute Your Sports. Everybody, shh. Okay, Salute Your Sports. We also have, I buried the lead as well. We're going to talk about the Packers. So we have hot takes from there, and we have a season review from them. It's also their birthday, apparently. They are 105 years old. So today. So congratulations, Packers, I guess, right? Did you have a salute your sports, Butch P? Because if not, I have mine queued up ready to go.
I'm just going to salute to our guys
Mm.
coming up, recognizing and being the good sport they are. That's a big salute. Much appreciated. At the tournament, grinding. Yeah, that's a big salute. Appreciate them coming on the show too.
Absolutely. And they did it. You didn't even have any Millie Ghost stuff on, which is the more impressive part, which means you have a face to remember.
Exactly.
All right. My salute is to the medal count. Salute to the United States for running the score up.
Oh, yeah, good. Yes.
On every other country in the world. Yes, we don't pay all of our athletes as much money, and that's because we have to pay out all this money to all these medals we keep winning. And somehow we tied with China. I don't remember what happened. Somebody had to lose something for us not to get one of those final golds, but we tied with China for golds, which means we're going to go ahead and say that the tiebreaker goes to us because we have 35 more medals than them. So salute to us, salute to America for going over there and not eating chicken cordon bleu for a month and just running up the score and everything we possibly can.
And the fact that China has like 10 times more people than we do. Probably even more than that. I mean, what are they, like 3-4 billion people? We're like at 330 million. So, with that A.
Put it on them. Put it on them. Yes. I don't know what the official tiebreaker is, but we can throw out some suggestions. Maybe we do a hot dog eating contest. Huh? Or maybe we do a fast food eating contest. You send your best people, we send ours. Or we just run it all back again with ordinary people and be like, all right, we couldn't settle that. So we're just going to grab a bunch of random people and make them do the Olympics over again. How about that? Which you have a question from the audience
Sure that'd be
from
a
Jens.
fan.
Jens says, want to throw it out there early. What's the goatee going to be shaved into next week for the playoffs of golf?
What do we have? The St. Jude's, Memphis. I'll come up with something.
Maybe do a little Elvis. Maybe put a guitar in there. Maybe the old blue suede shoes. Okay. Before we get to the Packers.
Ooh, yeah, I could get the chops involved.
Yes. Oh, the chops. There you go, dude. Yes. BMO's checking in. China's population is 1.4 billion, which is 17% of the
1.4.
And the US is 345 million.
So they're like 4.5 times us then. Not quite the number I thought.
You don't come to the show for math and science. Let's just anatomy, yes. Jokes, yes. You don't come here.
Well, I overshot the population. I knew they had a lot of people, so but yeah, I guess that would be about half the world in China. But they still have like a seventh or eighth. So
yes, Jens, this is liquid death.
Anyway.
It's not an energy drink, it's just water. It literally is sparkling water. And it's delicious, by the way. It's delicious, by the way. Little Coach Hines for you. Okay. Before we get into the
Oh
Packers,
wow, yeah.
before we get into the Packers, the dad joke. Here it is, Butch. Did you hear about the new website that sells surplus protein shakes?
No.
It's Wayfair, Whey.
Oh yeah, I got it.
In your face, dude. In your face.
Whey protein. Yeah.
Wayfair, get it? Get it?
It's whey.
Way. Whey.
Now,
Way.
you yeah, you found that whey back in your book.
Oh, I was gonna go. I
Why
started
you
thinking
putting
about
emphasis?
cows. I started thinking about cows. Then I started thinking, wait a minute, Wayfair. I was like, cows, furniture, Wayfair, protein, milk, boom. And there's your dad joke. That's how my mind operates. Okay.
Well, you started about you kept saying hey, and you're like, man, I need to throw a W right before that.
Hey, I go drink some water down by the bay. What do you say? I
Whey.
just may.
Oh,
All right.
all right, here we go.
The Packers,
Packers review.
2023
Fudge Packers.
Packers review. Did they make the playoffs? Yes, they did, Butch. In fact, they're the they're the
Yep.
youngest team. They're the youngest team to ever win a playoff game and the first 7th seed to ever beat a 2 seed. And I can't remember who they beat, so I know it was somebody. Could you fill the people in on who the Packers beat last year in the playoffs?
Who did they beat last year?
Oh, I remember it was the Cowboys. They beat the Cowboys by like 4. Yeah. Yeah.
Can't remember.
Who's your favorite team? Who's your favorite NFL team?
Dude, I'm having serious internet connection.
Up, dude.
I can't hear you.
It's BS. That is BS. That's a wheelbarrow full of BS right there. Look at Jens. You listen to what I say, or you'll pay. But the Packers finished 9-8, second in the NFC North, to the Lions, new sheriff in town. They had Jens, no. They had one Pro Bowler, Kenny Clark. They had the youngest roster in the league. They had their second season in a row without a 1,000-yard wide receiver, but they do have a lot of good young wide receivers. They won 6 of their last 8 to get the 7 seed. They could not stop the run. They had 150 yards against them 9 times last year on the ground. They fired that defensive coordinator, Joel Berry, and they brought in the head coach from Boston College. I cannot remember his name, but they brought him in. Their kicker stunk. They did extend Jordan Love, and I'm still pissed off at them because they paraded around like they didn't know what was going on with Christian Watson's hamstring. Turns out it was just weaker and smaller, and the NFL wasted $4 million in 2 years of his career to figure that out. So that is just stupid. But anything to add to that? I know you might wanted to chime in on that young wide receiver group, Butch.
The wide receivers, yeah. I mean, even without Watson, man, they're going to be forced to reckon contending in the just past happy. Well, Jacobs, Josh Jacobs. So we'll get to that on our hot takes.
Yep. Jens, no, they should not have beaten the Niners. They did not beat the Niners. Neither did the Lions. Quit living in fantasy land. Nobody, it doesn't matter. They did not beat them.
He's hired.
Brock Purdy.
Oh no.
Yeah. So they were 9-8. Offense 22.5 points per game. That was 12th out of 32. Defense 20.6 points per game, 10th out of 32. But that was kind of paper house there, house made of cards, whatever you want to call it, because their rushing defense was so bad. They lost Aaron Jones, Darnell Savage, their safety, one of their linemen, John Runyon, uh, Devondre Campbell, the linebacker. He moved over to the 49ers. Bakhtiari is gone, and they added Josh Jacobs from the Raiders. They added Xavier McKinney, a safety from the Giants. They brought in Greg Joseph, who I think kicked for the Vikings. And this was funny, dude. They added an entire – so they got rid of their defensive coordinator, and it looks like I was reading through all their transactions. They pretty much got rid of their entire strength and conditioning staff and brought in a new one, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I guess they saw it the way you did. We spent 2 years to find out that his hamstrings shorter.
That's a good point. I didn't even think
So
about that. But their whole performance staff got fired. I didn't even put that together, but you're exactly right. Like, they spent all that time trying to figure out what's wrong with his hamstring. Turns out he was just weak and smaller in his in his leg that was hurt. So they're like, and that's my whole thing. I was like, who the hell's training this guy? They should have known that. That's easy to pick off right out of the gate, dude. In the draft, they picked up a tackle, Morgan. They picked up a linebacker, Cooper. They picked up a safety out of Georgia, Marshawn Lloyd, running back. Has got a lot of hype about him. And they drafted the quarterback from Tulane, which I thought was interesting. So they don't really do a lot as far as like off-season signings and free agents and all that stuff. They like try to get their guys through the draft. They got the whole Georgia defense. They drafted another Georgia player. They drafted like 4 last year. So, all these guys don't have to worry about changing their logos. So, any thoughts on any of that?
just the color.
Yeah. So,
No,
but
I
yeah,
mean, it looks like they try to address what they lost in the, running back, safety, lineman, a linebacker, and then what'd you say, Bakhtiari is?
yeah, he's gone.
What
So
position was he?
he was a tackle. He was one of their
Yeah,
tackles. He
but
kept
anyway.
having knee.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, so they drafted Morgan to try to fill that void. So, that's a business transaction in the NFL. You know,
Yeah, that is funny.
like
You're exactly right. Like they did the guy who doesn't play fantasy football a lot. Um, just tries to draft 2 of everything or replace whatever he lost. If he gets rid of a wide receiver, he wants to pick up a wide receiver. That's basically what the Packers do.
right.
Like, they lost a running back, well, they
So
picked up a running back and drafted another one. They lost a safety, well, they picked up a safety and drafted another safety. They lost an offensive lineman, they drafted another offensive lineman. They lost a linebacker, they drafted a linebacker. So it's like your bar in college, just one in, one out for the Green Bay Packers.
well,
So,
the Packers. If people haven't seen this yet, they need to see it. The Packers just groom. They try to groom their players. They'll get an experienced player and draft a rookie, and then give him a couple years to develop. So they're basically internally making their own little farm system, you know, and then boom, you're gone. So see you, Aaron Rodgers. See you, Brett Favre. You know, Jordan Love, your time. Groom, groom this guy for the next 5 years. Boom, you're gone. You know,
dude, that's a really good point. That's because they're never ever really bad, but they stay good and then they'll have a blip where they're really good and then they go back to being like average or just above average, but they never dip below, like, go into Buffalo Bills or 49ers territory where you just suck for 10 years. So, BMO hold on, dude. BMO just put this in here. He said USA got 1 gold per every 8.6 million in our country. China got 1 gold per every 35.5 million in their country. Gold per capita, we smoked them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was. Yeah, my point.
BMO, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to steal that and
we
tweet
smoked.
it. I'm gonna have to tweet that
Yeah,
out. That is incredible.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Oh, Jens wants to know who wins the NFC North, Butch.
I'm gonna stay with the Lions. Uh, I like the Lions. I like how they came out ready to roll last year. I think everything's pretty much kept the same with them, and I just with everybody else. I think your Packers will probably be number two, and then Vikings and Bears. They just have a lot to figure out.
Mm. Yeah, you picked them last year too, so uh they the Lions are going to be tough to beat. They just keep getting better. They're only going to get better theoretically, but
Yeah,
I know Jens likes Dontavian Wicks. It's definitely he wants to know who's going to be the wide receiver one for Green Bay. Uh, but Watson, no, it's going to be Wicks or Dobbs, or Dubs, whatever his name is. But
I don't
apparently the
think they'll.
reports are. Go ahead.
What's the recourse? I don't think they're going to have a true number one. I mean, think about last year. They had a wide receiver that was their number one wide receiver for different months. Each month was a different wide receiver that led the team in yardage or whatever. So, I mean, why try to fix that? Not broke, don't fix it. Spread the wealth. It's going to be hard to key on all those talented wide receivers that they do have. Watson, he comes back, he adds to that recipe. You know, keep rolling with that.
I agree. I think Dobbs is going to be, if anybody, it's going to be Wicks or Dobbs, without question. I think it's going to be Wicks or Dobbs. I don't think I think the other ones will show flashes, like they'll have a pop game, like the DraftKings DFS Millie Maker. You play what's that guy's name for? Dylon mentioned it. I can't even remember what his name is. Uh, Molt? No, what's his name? Let's just go ahead and get to that slide.
Oh, Bo Melton.
Melton. There you go. There
Was
you
it
go.
Melton? Yeah.
They had him. There was another guy too. I can't remember who it was. But anyways, here's the hot takes. Uh, um, so yeah, hot takes for the Green Bay Packers. I got sidetracked in a thought process, a stream of conscious thoughts of my own whenever I was trying to think of who Bo Melton was. So I think he was number 80, but I used to play him all the time in DraftKings. But anyways, Packers hot takes. I'll go first. I don't think they're still going to be able to stop the run because they
No,
lost one of their
that's
linebackers.
that's
Like, and they brought in a new DC. They're still running that 3-4, and I don't see any other. What else? A couple of safeties and a linebacker might help, but there's still going to be a problem. They're a funnel defense. So I don't know if he's going to change that, because if so, they didn't really draft a lot of personnel to change a lot of things up. So I still think you're going to be able to run the football on them, which in a division with the Lions and the Bears, they're going to be in trouble.
oh my.
Did you? It's true. Did you have any hot takes?
Oh, yeah. So, what is better for the Packers? The cheesehead or beer cheese?
Ooh. If you had to make a Packers fan choose, you could only have beer cheese or your cheese head. That's a good Twitter poll.
That's a
I
good
don't know. I'm not a
poll.
Packers fan,
Yeah, that's a hot take.
so I can't answer that. All right, my second one.
And
Go ahead, dude.
well, I was going to say, and have the Packers overreacted? Make it quick. No, nobody said this. Have the Packers overreacted on Jordan Love?
Mm. You're saying, did they pay him too much too early?
Too early.
Mm.
I mean, essentially, this is his rookie year. So,
Yeah.
have we overreacted on Jordan Love?
What I do like is that he bet on himself and took a smaller deal and said, "Yeah, I'll be around for one more year," and they paid him, and then he went out there and absolutely balled out and earned his money. So I respect him in that regard. Which leads right into my next
Oh,
question:
yeah, definitely.
Is his window closing to get a Super Bowl because he just got engaged in June?
Oh, no. Oh, or is the wedding going to be put off for a later date?
Jordan Love, if you're watching, the
I
rule
mean,
is you get married. You get married.
next year's downhill.
Yen says not at all. He's only the highest paid QB with what, 2 playoff wins? Yes. Fair point. Okay,
Okay.
J-Vi chimed in.
Yeah.
He's on the road coming back from the Wyndham because they had to play. He was working that tournament, so he had to pack up all his stuff and then travel back home. So he was unable. Tex is actually in Texas for once, so he's not here. So Dylon filled in, and as you can see, Dylon he wasted no time. Dylon doesn't normally chime in on the hot takes list, but because it was the Packers and Dylon is a Vikings fan, he goes, "I get 3. Here are mine." I'm like, "Okay, dude, I'll write them down." So Dylon says Bo Melton will end up being their number 1 wide receiver this year. We just had an extensive conversation about who will be the number 1. We don't know. And I'm guessing Dylon is taking a slight at the receivers of the Green Bay Packers. He also says that Green Bay will be last in the division. I'm sure there's no animosity towards that. And then he sent an absolute novel where I had to put it in like size 6 font to get it on the chart. As he's going after the receivers yet again, Dylon has some vendetta against the Green Bay wide receivers, and I'm assuming because he's a big Justin Jefferson fan. Christian Watson will miss at least 1/3 of the games this season with a hamstring issue. In fact, according to Draft Sharks, he is labeled high risk, quote unquote, for injury at almost 75% to miss at least 3 games. So Dylon wasted no time just taking a dump all over the Packers at any turn, and that's why football is great because you can just manufacture a rivalry right there. Any thoughts, Butch? Go ahead.
So, so I had the liberty of going on to Draft Sharks, and I was curious on this injury projection. So my first guy I typed in was a former Packer that Minnesota happened to acquire. His name is Aaron Jones. And I looked at his compared to Christian Watson, and Aaron Jones' risk injury is 87.6% to Christian Watson's 75. So I was going to type that as one of my hot takes, but I figured I'd save it to this point. And I would like to hear Dylon's thoughts on that in reverse. It's like the reverse Uno card.
Oh my
So,
god.
did you get a good deal for a million this year or not?
And we're right back to poop it all over the Vikings, which was one of my favorite episodes.
full, full circle.
Yes. Oh, that was
And
great.
another reason why I think they have a little bit more to fix than what meets the eye.
Who, the Packers?
No, I think the Vikings do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then J.U.Y.S, his was Josh Jacobs returns to form this year. They're going to have that's going to be a crowded backfield. Like, if I'm looking at that from a fantasy football perspective, I'm like, I don't want any part of that because they refuse to do anything with A.J. Dillon. And then you've got this other guy that they drafted. I forgot his name. What's his name? Holy cow. Hold on. That's going to drive me up the wall.
Oh, the slide before.
Yeah, the slide before.
Yep, you can tell I was listening.
Yeah. What's it? Marshawn Lloyd. Marshawn Lloyd. There it is. Marshawn Lloyd, the running back. So they've got three guys that they really like. So absolutely not. And then he said the Packers will sweep the Vikings as we continue the poop on the Vikings tour 2024. So those are the hot takes. What do you, I mean, can they do better? Do you think they'll do better than last year?
Ooh. The Packers?
Yeah.
No. I don't. But
I mean,
I mean it's not going to be the same as last year where they just started getting hot. I think they may start off hot and then cool off.
yeah. I mean, you're not going to catch anybody by surprise. Everybody's got a year of tape on Jordan Love now. And everybody's going to pick them to go
That's
really. Yeah, they're going to go really far is what people are going to say, but they're still in a division with a Bears team that's better, a Lions team that's better, and they're still really young. And like I said, they now have a year full of tape on Jordan Love. So, and the 49ers are still talent-wise, roster-wise, one of the best teams in the NFC. So, we'll see. NFC South, nobody's worried about them. The East, Cowboys and Eagles. The North, there's three teams in there that are going to be decent. The West, you have the Rams and the Niners. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think having that year of film on Jordan Love now is going to be that's going to tell a lot his second year. So, I mean, I think they'll make the playoffs. If your defense against the run is that bad, they're going to get smoked again. And we'll see if not having a true wide receiver one comes back to bite them in the butt, you know? So,
yes. We'll see. But anyway.
yeah. Anyways.
All right.
Okay. Now that we've done that, it's time to
That's
talk.
your Packer take.
Packer talk is done. Happy birthday, Packers. Way to go. 105 years. Good for you. Let's hit some music, and then hopefully it'll play through the screen and not J-Vi's computer somehow, even though he's not here. Everybody Okay. Nice segue there, Butch. Nice segue. All right. Let's talk a little golf, I'm trying to get my document back up here. Let's talk a little golf. We're going to pull up some slides here. I love making slides. I love making the graphics. There we go. We're back on it. First one we're going to pull up. We had the Wyndham Championship. Straight out of the gate, our guys were 3 for 5. That means for the regular season, the guys were 55 out of 100, just above 50%. Not bad for picking guys that are below 7,000. not Dylon, you coward. So 1 out of every 2 that we picked on the year was a pretty good play below 7,000. That's not bad. So,
No,
but
flip a coin.
exactly. The Wyndham, Aaron Rye wins this thing on some late golf dramatics, which was phenomenal for your Sunday evening. We had DraftKings lineups. It's not final yet, so we couldn't show you our balls on DraftKings, so we didn't do that. But we're still going to talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, your boy went extremely heavy on Max Gracerman, Greensboro, 50 Shades of Grays, Gracerman. Literally 52%. I had him in every other one of my lineups. I had him in 50% of my lineups, which I thought was going to be the play of the century until he quadrupled. As soon as I said anything about, like, I hadn't watched golf all day. I was at the pier with my kids, and we went to this place where you play video games and get tickets and, you know, the whole arcade deal. And then we went and walked on the pier and down by the beach and all this stuff. Haven't watched a lick of golf. I turn the golf on. I see that Gracerman's up by 4 strokes. I'm like, I'm going to watch the end of this. And I send a picture to everybody. I'm like, look at Gracerman. Look at my lineups. The next hole, quadruple bogey. I'm like, I mean, it couldn't happen 4 hours ago when I was just not watching it. It had to happen while I was watching it, where there's a complete meltdown and I'm trying to pump my chest about it. No, he has to do it as soon as I cut it on. I'm like, this is great. We're going to win some money. Nope. Quad bogey. I mean, loses his ball out of bounds, hits the next one into the junk, loops out 2-3 foot putts. I'm like, what is this? What is this nonsense? So, anyways,
Just after he hold it out for Eagle
yeah,
on 13, hold it out for Eagle on 13, and ran to the tee box to 14 to get up there to hurry up and tee off, and just I don't know. The caddy, I was listening to commentators on that. They were like, "Yeah, the caddy should have slowed him down." I'm like, "Well, geez, what do you want him to do? Put a leash on him like a child?" They can't just like anticipate the man just sprinting to the next box. But anyway, so
it was. I mean, it's just one of those things where you're like, it's you always hear about the don't screenshots, don't talk about it. If you're throwing a no hitter, like if you find something that works, don't mention it. And you're like, that has no bearing on me. Like he has no idea I'm watching him, on the TV. And it's just hilarious. As soon as I did it, boom, Randy Johnson slider into the woods over here. And then he quadruple bogeys. It's like, dude, you can't make that up. But that's why it's so hilarious. So, but anyways, the string of events were like,
but he got it back. He got it back.
mm-hmm.
He was in the lead again.
And then
Rye did nothing to put pressure on him. All Rye did was make pars.
Yeah.
Until 18. Which, was playing the second toughest hole on the course. So once you birdie it was a done deal. So, but I mean, Grazerman had the birdie on 15, the par 5 to subside. So he went eagle, quad, birdie, and then doubled 16. And that's really what, between those 2 holes, you went 6 over.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
Unbelievable. I mean, it just, as soon as I turned it on, he went 6 over. It's like, you got to be kidding me. But so to summarize my lineup, so I don't know how many weeks in a row this is that I've turned a profit, but this was another one. where I cashed in the Millie, cashed in my single entry, cashed in my 20 max, won the Wodamaker, cashed in the listener league. A couple weeks in a row here. I'm hoping this momentum rolls into football because we're planning on having a big year. And one of us is gonna get it. You had a great football year last year. J-Vi did too. I had a great golf season. Like all the things are the vibes are going in the right direction, Butch P. So
They are.
but so this tournament, so Cam artist was my phrase because I played a lot of Cam Davis and he stunk, and so did Batia. And it seems like every lineup I played Gracerman, I had one of those two guys in it, and it just sunk me for the 6 out of 6 trifecta, which was a sad state of affairs. My only 6 out of 6 didn't even have Gracerman, so I completely wasted the Gracerman success. So, what about you? Do you have any
Dang.
lineup snafus?
Oh, yeah. Fading on Rye was a big one because I liked him a lot, and then I figured he was going to be the heavy favorite coming from, I guess, whatever you put up there. So
This?
and that was it ended up being that was Eam. Eam was the betting favorite. So
So it was from
yeah,
Golf Tips Checker. Shout out you, dude. Shout out Golf Tips Checker who followed us and then retweeted all of our shenanigans. Shout out to you, and we're going to shout you out again because you put out this little tipper. And if you don't follow this guy, we have a couple of accounts that we put on this show. If you need golf tips, you go to Golf Tips Checker. He does this every week. He puts out where all the betting tips are going from multiple sources and then puts it in a nice pie chart. Also, go follow Ron Close. And guess what? Everybody was coming in on Rye, Kuchar, uh, and Eam, and they all had pretty good. There was a lot of momentum for Cole and Griffin too, but Rye delivered. So, but this tournament was pretty funny because it was delayed, so they didn't start on Thursday. So they're playing hurry up golf. Three people a squad. There was a monsoon hurricane that came through. The leaderboard was insane. You had Bo Bo Hostler leading after day one at like 10 under when he finished at 12 under, which is hilarious. Kuchar, day two, and the worst case scenario for Kuchar to have to play this much golf in such a short period of time. And then we had Gracerman, we just talked about. Aaron Rye goes bogey free. So I had the Gracerman Eagle in the lead. Then Cam Young makes a birdie, but started 13 under and got all the way back to 10 under. And then Rye birdies and goes bogey free, and I saw all my balls drop to lose me a bunch of money. So that was really annoying. But there's your final leaderboard. And the funny thing with the Kuchar stuff is he was he has sent Twitter and social media into a tizzy because he was on he was on the final hole tied for 12th, and Matt Kuchar decided that he wasn't going to finish, and he's going to have to come back out tomorrow and play a shot from the fairway and make everybody else go back out there. So I don't
well,
know.
I don't know. Did you notice?
Go ahead, Butch.
See, 18 goes like basically 18 goes straight downhill. And then, so what makes it so tough? It's downhill, it's change of elevation. Now you got to come back straight uphill and land it on the green. Well, you can't see the guys down there at the bottom after they teed off. Well, it was taking a little bit of time there, uh, maybe for Rye to get, or that group in front of them, which was the Rye group, to get going on their second shot. So, and there was nobody directing anyone at the tee box. So Kuchar hits into him. He's teed off, and I think he hit into him, and you know, and then I'm pretty sure it made Rye mad because you could see it on his face, like so he still had to make his shot. Well, he stuck it 3 foot from the pin or 5 foot and made that birdie putt on 18, which was extraordinary. Nail in the coffin. He'd been knocking on the door for quite some time now. But anyway, yeah, that I found that hilarious. And then to find out that he didn't even finish the hole. He said, "Nah, I'm coming back tomorrow." You know.
Hey, look, Ian said he's gonna make a bogey on 18 tomorrow. That would be hilarious. Like he makes everybody come back out there, and then he like double bogeys and like loses hundreds of thousands of dollars probably.
Oh,
So, all right, here you go, dude. Check out the guys. Check out the guys, the golf guys. Went 3 for 5. I think Fishburne missed it on the number. I think he was just one back.
yeah.
Zalatoris. So you gave him Fishburne. Dylon gave you Will Zalatoris. He tried to play the funny game again and got beat. Griot from Tex tied for 59th, so that's a check mark. I gave you Gary Woodland in your face, BMO. You're going to fade the buckle up, won't miss the cut in a million years guy. Yeah, right, dude. Gary Woodland went out there and put on a clinic, went to 9 under, tied for 28th. And he was like less than 1% ownership in DraftKings. So that was an absolute steal right there. And I told you he likes the course. He's been playing better. Of course, I say that every week, and usually it blows up in our faces. But when I'm right, I'm going to let you know. And then J-Vi gave you Berger, who finished tied for 45th. And so that's the golf guys. 3 for 5, not bad. Fishburne, yeah, he was 3 under. Griot was 3 under for the tournament. Berger was 5 under for the tournament. Willie Z was just even. He missed the cut. Fishburne missed the cut. And then Woodland was 9 under, tied for 28. So get some of that, dude. Any thoughts on that?
No.
Okay. Yen said that he could only hope that Kuchar does bogey because he stiffed his caddy 6 years ago. Yeah, I remember that. He won like $1.5 million for winning a tournament and tipped his caddy like $5,000, which usually it's like 10%. So
It's 10%. Oh, wow.
yeah. So, all right. The Listener League. 28D Scott wins the Listener League with 545 points. Forsaken comes in second with 465.5. I know that he had a little bit of rye ownership there. And then I finished third with 457.5. That last little bit by Aaron Rye catapulted Forsaken over me, and he and I are in absolute battles in all sorts of contests. So congrats on the win, Forsaken. But that was hard to see. So, but he's a good sport. He's a funny guy on Twitter. So, good DFS player too. And then our guys, Hubs. Hubs missed the cut. Hate to see that. All-time guy. All-time dude. Hate to see that Hubs missed the cut at the Wyndham. But he's got to be tired, dude. He's been playing so much golf. He said that when he came on the show, that he has been playing a ton of golf. So hate to see Hubs miss the cut, but as you can see, stand up dude went and dapped Butch up. So he knows if you're not a follower of Hubs, you need to be. And then Lauer finished 8 under, tied for 33rd. He went 1 over today. And then our other guy, Novak went 4 under for the tournament, tied for 52. So I don't know if any of them will make the playoffs this year. I'm not sure. I'll have to check the playoff list for the FedEx Cup. But shout out to all those guys for coming on the show, for a great year, and for being stand-up dudes. And we're looking to have maybe Zach Blair and potentially Trace Crow on. So the Millie Maker lineup, Sung Jae Eam, Aaron Rye, Gracerman, Clanton, Spawn, Mac Meisner. So that was the winning lineup that won, I think, like 250K or 200K or something. I don't know. Pretty easy construction there. Thanks, Jens. You're the GOAT, dude. You're 100% the GOAT. But yeah, Forsaken, man, that guy. I knew it too. I knew whenever Rye did it, I was like, no. Oh, that's all I could think about. All right, Butch got kicked out. I'm not sure why, but we'll finish this thing out, and I've got 2 more pieces of news that I want to get to. So that's golf. It was a fun tournament, man. Like, I was keeping up with it. I couldn't watch it as much as I wanted to. But at the same time, it was pretty cool that that Butch was there, J-Vi was there. He got to see our guys. They got to see us. So that was, we're not you're always funny, like in your mid-30s, like, yeah, we have a podcast. It's like, we're not. If this was a career, I mean, we're hoping to make it one. That would be really cool. But at the same time, when you get out there and you send out feelers and people come on your show, and especially professional athletes, it's pretty cool. And you just want to, like, we're not out to get anything. We just want to laugh. That's all. We just want to have a good time. So anywho, let's talk about these last couple of bits of news. We're going to hang a banner. At least I'm going to hang the banner. So I almost hit the intro there again. That would have been funny. So everybody, shh.
You did it! Congratulations!
Okay, hang the banners. Let me figure out where my my document went again. See, I go back and forth between these pages, and when I do that, it loses my place, and I can't ever get these things to pull back up. So it takes me a while to run my mouse across the bottom of the screen. I don't know what it is with Apple or this MacBook Pro, but I'm trying to get my document to come back up so I can see where I'm at. But anywho, I'm going to hang the banner for Scotty Scheffler. He didn't play this weekend, but he didn't have to play. And that's why I'm going to hang the banner for him. Scotty Scheffler. Just have a year, dude. Have a year. Go win a gold medal. Go win the Masters. Get arrested and shoot a 63. Go, win 6 tournaments or 8, whatever it was you won this year. Like, just be that dominant. Like, I'm here for it. Give it to us. You're not a villain, but because you win so much, it does make turning on the golf tournaments interesting, just like back in the Tiger days. So here we go. Scotty Scheffler. I'm hanging the banner for him. This is from No Laying Up. Over the past 3 seasons, they've got Scotty Scheffler's PGA Tour earnings at $98.5 million. So he's won $64.2 million in straight course earnings. It's so stupid. That's just winning golf tournaments. That is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And then we've got 7.75 in FedEx Cup, or 7.75 million in FedEx Cup bonus money. He's got 15 million in Comcast bonus money, which is like the top 10 players. It's another little thing they do for golf where they're, trying to get these guys extra money through sponsorships to sponsor something, whatever. And then 11.5 million in PIP. Obviously, still the PIP and FedEx Cup money remaining for 2024. So this dude's won $100 million over the past 3 seasons, basically just on the golf course. which is absolutely ridiculous. Hold on. BMO just sent me a he told me to try something. Okay. No, it didn't work. It didn't work. But the tab won't come up from the bottom of my screen. Like I roll my mouse over and it's supposed to pop up from the bottom, but it didn't. Hold on. No. I'll work on it after the show. We'll talk, BMO. But yeah, so this other tweet from Joel Beal. Scotty Scheffler isn't playing in the Wyndham, but secures $8 million this week for winning the Comcast Top 10, given to the top regular season points getter. Season earnings now over $36 million. So he didn't even have to play this weekend, and they cut him an $8 million check because he's won so much this year. Unbelievable. So you gotta hang the banner. I mean, it makes sense that I was going to hang the banner for Scotty for this season that he has had, and really the past couple of seasons that he as golf regular season is over and they move on to the playoffs, and I'm sure he's going to be the heavy favorite. And by the time they get to the end of it, he'll be the guy who's got like 10 strokes ahead or whatever the heck it is. I mean, if you get that's good. I cannot wait for the end of golf season when it gets to the end and he's got the 10-stroke lead. Like you could pretty much just nobody's running him down. It'll be over. There's no way he has the 10. Everybody's going to get mad. They're going to, we got to change this. We got to change. It's like, well, the guy, you know what? As well as he's played, him and Xander, those two dudes should get a head start because they are clearly the best golfers on tour. It's not even close. So just don't put any Vicks Vapor Rub on your chest, Scotty, because apparently that will get you suspended. That's what happened to Graham McDowell. That's apparently a PED. I don't know. Okay. I have one more piece of news that I was hoping to have Butch or Tex here for, but it was basically just ripping on the Cowboys yet again. So this on your screen, you can't see it on the podcast, but it says breaking news, Dow loss, because Cowboys owner Jerry Jones on the contract talks with CeeDee Lamb says, I don't have any urgency to get it done, to which CeeDee Lamb quote tweets it and says, LOL, that's it. And then Micah Parsons reposted that. So the absolute soap opera that is the Dallas Cowboys continues to put out absolute content gold and headlines and all the stuff that Jerry Jones wants for a show. And he has no urgency to get this done. And I mean, the Cowboys are finished anyways. It doesn't matter. Like, there's no way they can pay each one of these players a collective, probably a collective $120 million, which I think would be over half, maybe even more than that of their salary cap. Like, you can't give three players that. I mean, they all disappear in the playoffs. They all disappear in the playoffs. So it's, but Jerry Jones has always said, like, it's not about, he wants his team to be the talk of the town more so than winning, which he's come out and said. So I don't really know what else you can say about Jerry. I mean, there's a lot of talk going on. Oh, they needed CeeDee Lamb. They, without CeeDee Lamb, that offense is pedestrian. It's like, well, what did it get? What did that get them? They got them 12-5, and then in the playoffs, that's when the real ball is played. They're just defenses will be like, we're just going to double CeeDee Lamb. Okay. In the regular season, it doesn't really matter that much after a certain point. So it's like, do you want to give all your money to a quarterback that's proven he can't win and is, a wide receiver? Like, that's not a winning. That's not how you win. I'm sorry. You saw the Chiefs do it this year with no wide receivers. So you want to win, you build from the inside out. You control the middle of the field. You can pretty much do whatever you want. Ask the Packers who can't stop the run. They can have all this quarterback, this and that all over the field, all these wide receivers, but they can't stop the run. And good teams will run all over them. So it's not like it's a complicated scenario here. But anyways, it's just funny that CeeDee, I mean, if you're a fan of the Cowboys and you see all these shenanigans going on, how can you take this team serious and be like, it's our year when you don't even have your 3 best players signed? But they'll they'll figure it out. They just, I mean, the more people talk about him, the more money goes into his pocket, and this dude's been doing it for a long time, and that's all that matters to him. So, all right, that's it for episode 156. Sorry we were late, but that's okay. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. You know, we record remotely. One of these days, when we get a big shiny sponsorship, somebody comes up in here and says, we are going to fly out production teams and make sure all of your internets are top notch and all your devices can handle everything, then boom, everything will be fixed. But we're just we're doing what we can, and we appreciate everybody who's listening and watching. We got a couple of people piling in here late. You know, the best thing for us that you can do is hit the like button while you're here, and go subscribe to the podcast and that sort of thing. And we love doing these live shows because the chat is very interactive. Shout out Yin, shout out BMO, all the people on Rumble too. All that stuff means a lot whenever you get in here and yuck it up with us. We're trying to put out a lot of stuff. So, but anyways, this has been episode 156. All the crew, the rest of the Millie Goats are traveling. Like I said, J.U.Y.S out of town, or he was working. Tex is on vacation. So you're getting my ugly mug for the next few days, I think. So we're trying to get a little bit more out there, which is good. So again, you can the Wotomaker standings, you can see them on the bottom of your screen. Your boy is in first with, it says 18, but I have 19 now. Dylon has 12 asterisk 13. J.U.Y. has 12. Butch P has 8. Tex has 6. So golf season's pretty much wrapped up. I am the champion. I had a really good DFS year, so shout out to that. And we're going to try to roll that thing over into football season. So glad football's back. And that's it for 156. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Rumble. At the Millie Goats for both of those. Twitter at Millie Goats. Instagram at the Millie Goats. GoDaddySites.com. Subscribe to the show, rate the show, review the show. And if you're new, you're just tuning in, podcast to be out tomorrow morning. So go catch you up on what you missed. And let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about. Everyone have a good Monday. Start the week strong. Let's get it. Go Niners.